So it's been a long few weeks at Magical Crypto Friends, and we're very excited to announce that we are giving away a Tesla, and to one of our lucky viewers. It's really, I just so proud of all our success and all of the money we've earned through YouTube. And so what we've done is we've got a bunch of random viewers and subscribers in here and in this hat, and we're going to do this draw now. We're going to pick one random lucky subscriber who's going to be the winner. You guys ready? Here we go. Here we go. Mixing it up. I'm mixing it up. Here we go.
I can't stand the suspense.
The winner of the Tesla is Whale Panda.
Yes! Woohoo! Now I can finally drive my car
The only problem with that
electrically.
The only problem with that is, as you guys may know, Teslas are not allowed in Belgium, where Whale Panda lives.
What the That's a scam!
Unfortunately, we're gonna have to draw someone else. Don't worry, it's fine. We still have many entries.
I'm gonna go on Twitter and call you out on it.
Sorry.
Don't worry about it. It just happens. Belgium is a weird country. Here we go. Drawing another one. Here we go. Who would it be? The winner of the Tesla is Charlie Lee. You're a lucky subscriber, Charlie Lee.
Wow.
Congratulations, Mr. Lee.
This is great. Thank you.
It's a scam.
It's not a scam. It is. Yeah, here are all the entries that we drew from. You saw that we did the draw live, and so there's no way it could have been faked.
But this is our 8th recording, though.
So my conclusion is that all Tesla giveaways are a scam.
You're only bitter because you didn't win.
Yeah.
I won!
If you'd won, you would have been saying, this is great, let's do it again.
I'm gonna go to the Twitter police. Okay, let's start the show.
Magical crypto. The best thing to do is simply to hodl. What's a young pony to do in a sea of shady ICOs? Alliance courage can light up even the darkness of shadows. Unlike the corporate suits, the whale panda is wise. A chicken dreams about the moon while soaring in the skies. As Bitcoin sees new all-time highs. Crypto. All around me I see big blockheads. Magical crypto. The best thing to do is simply to hodl. We'll always buy the dip, and we'll always be the best of the rest.
So, today we have with us Sam Samao from China. So if there's some delay in chat and stuff, I guess our editor will filter it out. But the green screen, he's just so jealous of my green screen. That's the only reason why he got one. Next we have Charlie Lee with the block clock behind him. Magical Crypto Friends. That's cool.
You like it?
Yes. And Riccardo. Riccardo's a bit boring today.
I'm not even wearing a watch.
Not even wearing a watch. He got robbed on the way there.
I had to sell the watch to buy the Tesla.
And me, Whale Panda. So let's start off.
You see what my clock is saying?
Yes, I do. I don't know if
It thinks you should win the Tesla.
Panda gets Tesla.
I completely agree.
That was not rigged in any way. It was fair.
What do you mean?
We did it live.
Sure.
So one thing that came up, I think Charlie Lee brought up as a topic. I don't remember exactly who did it, but was Shamir's secret sharing scheme and how to do it properly.
Say that 3 times fast.
I can't. English is not my first language, I'm going to use that as an excuse for everything.
I think we should call it Samson's secret sharing scheme.
Can you explain what it is and how it works and how to do it properly? Because it was an article on bitcoin.com and that was really messed up. That didn't describe it properly, and if you do it that way, it will end up badly.
Yeah, you take your private key, and then you split it up into 3 pieces, A, B, and C, and you give one to me, one to Charlie, and one to Whale Panda. And we hold it for you.
Okay.
Well, if I remember correctly, that article kept on talking about Shamir's secret, as if Shamir has a secret that everyone's trying to protect or something. But the thing is, it's trying to explain Shamir's secret sharing, which is a way where you can split something into like M of n parts, where like if you bring together, like if you do 2 of 3, if you bring together 2 of the 3 parts, you can recompose the private key or whatever it is, right? But if you only have one part, then you have no idea you have no information at all about what the private key is until you have the 2 parts, right? So, but what the article was saying was that it tried to like dumb it down in such a way where if you have like a 12-word seed, it will split up it claims that Shamir's secret sharing is you split the 12-word seed into like 8 words of each part being 8 words, 8 of the 12. And if you bring together 2 parts, you can recreate the 12. You have all the 12 words, right? But that's like totally stupid, because if you have one part, you have 8 of the 12 words, and you can almost like brute force the other 4 words.
Yeah, it's like it's like when people use ROT13 as an encryption algorithm. ROT13 is where you just like move the letter 13 letters up in the alphabet. I mean, that's not encryption. It's very sort of it's like a very naive form of obfuscation, and Shamir's secret sharing scheme is, as Charlie said, specifically designed so that having one of the parts does not give you an advantage over someone else, in that you can't brute force it or do anything.
Yeah, but the keys, they got it mostly right, but just not with 12 words. You need more entropy.
No, you can do it with 128-bit private key. That's not the issue. The issue is that you don't just give 8 words to people. That's not the way it works.
Yeah, with Shamir's secret sharing, each part is just gibberish, right? You can't get anything out of it until you combine it with another part. If it's 2 of 3, you need 2 of the 3 parts. If it's 3 of 5, you need 3 parts, right, to combine to the private key or whatever it is you are trying to encrypt.
Right, but the issue is that it's 12 and not 24, right? So you can brute force it.
No, it's not. That's not even about that. It's that their entire the way of doing it is not Shamir's secret sharing at all. It's just splitting up a seed into words. I don't think that a 24 word seed split using their method would be significantly less vulnerable. It might take you a little bit more time to brute force it, but not that much more time.
I haven't read their guide, but it's doing Shamir's secret sharing wrong, and it's doing it with 12 words. Is that
you can
correct?
do Shamir's secret sharing with 12 or 24 words, but it's just not what the guide was describing is not Shamir's secret sharing. It's basically doing some multi-sig. It's trying to re-implement it, right, in a stupid way.
Right. Yeah, but still with 12, you can. It's less secure, right? You can get one part and grind it theoretically.
So with 12 words is typically, if we're talking about normal mnemonic implementations, 12 words is 128-bit private key, and 24 words is a 256-bit private key. So yeah, I mean, is a 128-bit private key more brute forceable? Sure, but I think that I don't fundamentally have a problem with 128 bits of entropy. That in many cases that's fine. 256-bit is certainly better. But the issue is, if you're going to talk about Shamir's secret sharing scheme, then there's an actual mathematical thing that happens. It's not just like, cut your cake up into a bunch of parts and give it to friends and hope they don't eat it.
That's a good analogy.
It's a gluten allergy.
I think Fluffy Pony is hungry.
I can visualize it. So first, Riccardo. You know, like we love you, but you should stop interacting with like Bitcoin SV trolls and stuff like that. It's so annoying, especially because you have to know we get tagged in a lot of posts, and then Riccardo goes on a rant against everyone, even the obvious trolls. And he just keeps posting every day, and you get like more and more Twitter notifications, all from Riccardo.
No, it's because I'm trying to force them to defend their position. And I'm not doing it for the sake of the trolls. I'm doing it because there are other people who are not technical and who don't actually know what's going on. And they come in and they read these threads and they're like, oh, Lightning needs a banking license. Oh, the Bank Secrecy Act affects Lightning. And they read this stuff and they don't have the ability to differentiate between what is true and what is false. And it's one thing to ignore them, but the problem is that the trolls are obvious trolls to us, but they're not obvious trolls to somebody reading that thread who is not deeply invested in the space and doesn't have like a plethora of knowledge. So I am convinced that it's important and imperative to educate people through stuff like that. And there are people that have come to me and said, oh, I read your comments in that thread and it taught me a lot about, Lightning nodes and whether whether they're actually miniature banks and they need bank licenses. So, I don't always take the bait and I do mute people, but like some of that stuff just needs to be said publicly so that other people learn from it.
Yeah, it's really annoying because I've blocked most of them. So all I do is I see you talking to yourself.
Exactly. Okay, so doing it for the better good.
You're basically saying you're like the Greg Maxwell of Twitter.
Yeah. No, but that's the reason that Greg goes and sits on Reddit and replies to all those things. He's not doing it for the people that have already made up their mind. He's doing it for the other people that read it. Because otherwise, if other people come into it and they read this echo chamber of nonsense, and the BSV trolls are particularly bad because they just spew like Craig Wright nonsense, which is an extra special level of nonsense. By the way, Craig Wright is a fraud. Please sue me, Craig. And they just spew all this nonsense all the time. And if it's in this little continuous echo chamber, people read it and they get sucked into it, and they believe it. And so there's got to be some balancing act now and then, not all the time, but enough to just put it off kilter if people come in and read that.
Yeah, I can't do it. You do it.
Yeah, it drives me crazy.
The funniest part for me is watching BSV trolls trying to defend why BSV is the real Bitcoin, because they have to navigate around why Bitcoin is not the real Bitcoin and also why Bitcoin Cash is not the real Bitcoin. Whereas Bitcoin SV is a real Bitcoin because it follows the original vision of Satoshi.
I like to tell them that Litecoin is the real Bitcoin. Prove me wrong.
Well, that's why I like Litecoin too. Every time people say we need faster transactions, like use Litecoin. It's great.
Yeah, we need bigger blocks. Use Litecoin.
And then if you think Litecoin is too slow, use Dogecoin, right?
Well, Dogecoin has a CEO too.
Yeah, I mean, it's got Elon Musk as president, a CEO.
A former president, but still.
Former CEO, yeah.
I was surprised Elon actually interacted with Dogecoin community.
Well, he seems to interact with everybody.
Well, he replied to you, Samson, so you're special.
He's still not coming to our conference.
And he also replied to Riccardo.
Yeah, he replied to me. And then I was in news articles as a Tesla fan on Twitter. said to Elon.
Is that right?
It's like, yes, I'm a Tesla fan on Twitter. Score.
That's how you got the free Tesla to give away.
Yeah, that's how we got the free Tesla, yeah.
Mine was better. I was asking him about the the kids' cars, the mini Teslas for kids.
Oh, yeah.
And then the news articles wrote and said Blockstream CSO talking to Elon Musk about the mini Tesla's toys.
As if you had a personal relationship and then this was expressed publicly on Twitter.
Yeah. Or it's like professional business. Blockstream and Blockstream talking to Tesla about the mini Teslas.
Yeah,
What were you asking him about?
You know, the toys. You know, the kids' cars.
Yeah.
The mini Teslas.
What about it?
Well, I was asking if there's a Model X one coming.
Oh, you know the mini Tesla runs on gas, right?
No, it doesn't.
I'm just kidding.
So, okay, went way off topic. My main takeaway is that Riccardo is like Monero's Greg Maxwell.
look at my beard. It's so big and fluffy.
One thing that came as a surprise to many people is that I think it was Francis that started talking about it, that blockchain was initially called Timechain by Satoshi Nakamoto. What you laughing about?
That was actually really good.
I just nod the fact that Craig Wright started using the word time.
Yes, so that was another funny thing. So Francis started tweeting about it because he was going through some old writings from Satoshi, or the old code, I think.
Old code, I think.
And then suddenly also Craig started tweeting about Timechain. But it's actually interesting that they call it Timechain. So I heard first time I heard about it was I think 2 years ago. I was having some drinks with Peter Todd and Adam Gibson and stuff like. I don't remember who brought it up, but that's where I learned about it over drinks with Bitcoiners. So what do you think? Do you guys think we should call it a time chain, or does it not make sense? Like the idea now is that we keep blockchain for all those scammy projects that want to do like blockchain but not Bitcoin. So we have time chain.
So why did he call it time chain? I actually didn't figure out like why it was called time chain.
Because it was like based on timestamps.
Timestamps on a chain.
It was, yeah.
Get these timestamps off my chain.
Did you see the Blockstream April Fool's joke?
Yes.
Timestamps.
It was very funny.
Which one? We did two.
Oh, okay.
We did two.
What's the other one?
We did timestamps and Ethereum. Ethereum Block Explorer.
Yeah, that one is...
The time chain one wasn't funny at all.
On. It was awesome. Everything had a timestamp on it.
I didn't even see it.
Go watch it. It's good.
Time chain or blockchain. Okay. Let's move on. That was an interesting topic, obviously. So Jack from Twitter, Jack Dorsey, announced that Square will support 3 to 4 open source devs. That's a great move from Square, obviously. And it would be great if other companies that's making a lot of money or made a lot of money on Bitcoin would do the same thing.
Yeah, and I think the conclusion there is that Square is definitely doing a lot more to help Bitcoin than Circle.
Ooh.
Come on.
You're saying some geometric shapes are better than others?
Great joke.
What did Circle do? Circle bought Poloniex. I mean, come on, what have they done to help Bitcoin?
What did Coinbase do? But that's not that funny because it's not a shape.
Coinbase is not a shape.
Yeah, I know.
It's early morning and I have not had enough coffee.
So it's a positive thing and we should see more of that in the space.
Yeah. Like previously it's MIT, like the big ones are MIT, Blockstream, Chaincode. But now we have Square, which is a welcome addition.
Have they hired anyone yet?
I don't know. Maybe they can hire Will Panda.
Actually, Luke complained that they didn't reply to his DM yet on Twitter, so I don't think so. I mean, Luke is a very valuable contributor, and still he has difficulties getting funded.
He's a bit controversial.
Yeah.
Will Panda, you should apply.
As what? As marketing guy or?
Yeah, marketing guy, Bitcoin SEO expert.
As a Bitcoin dev.
Bitcoin mascot.
That I am.
Well, they're hiring one designer. It's like 4 devs and 1 designer, which is interesting because that means that they want to focus on things that help with consumer usage, more retail usage maybe.
Well, that makes sense because Bitcoin has a horrible user experience. Most of the Bitcoin wallets and Bitcoin services. So Monero is even worse. Try using Monero. Oh my.
CLI wallets are the way forward, guys.
Yeah, Monero's pretty bad.
Have you tried the latest iteration of the official GUI? It's much better than it used to be. And the
It's
My
hard to get
Monero,
worse than what it used to be.
you know, that's true.
Ooh, shots fired.
No, it's true. It's true. It was pretty bad. I mean, it's there wasn't tons of design effort that was put into it. My Monero, the desktop client and the mobile client is really slick though. That is, in terms of UX, I would say that's probably the best Monero UX that we have right now.
I actually haven't used my Monero for a while.
You should try the current desktop client. It's fantastic.
That's because you stopped working on it, right?
Yeah, because I got someone else to work on it. No, Paul, but seriously, Paul's done a good job there. We also had someone like design it properly because the web interface was obviously archaic, and I think it's there's still a lot of work on the usability side that can be done, but I think it's the most usable Monero wallet that we have right now, which is great.
Oh, and I saw that Trezor announced also that Monero will be supported in the next version, next upgrade.
PR was merged yesterday, the other day.
Took them like 2 years to get that working.
So the like having dealt with Ledger and Trezor and a lot of the issues there, a big part of it is just how expensive Monero's signing process and transaction creation process is. And so you've got to do a bunch of tricks to offload the stuff onto the computer, let the computer process it, and then have the important bits like get processed on the device. And it's like initially there was even a concern that the Nano S would not be able to do it at all. And there were some tricks and workarounds that made it feasible. So it wasn't just a matter of like porting the transaction signing process over. It was like a whole bunch of clever crypto tricks as well that were required. So I'm surprised that it actually got done at all.
You have a lot of memory constraints. I think you probably have the same problem as with Liquid, right? The transactions are bigger.
Yeah. CT is definitely adds a lot to it. And there's no, I mean, look, a lot of these devices are becoming more adept in terms of their functionality and capabilities. So it's getting there, but between now and then, you've got to make do.
Yeah. Plus, some of the devices are old, right? If you're trying to make it work on a Nano S, you're constrained by the hardware from how many years ago that.
Yeah, but now there's the Nano X, which is much better.
I think some people will still want the S because I think hardcore people won't want the Bluetooth connectivity. It's like a security risk.
Yeah, it's true. Anything like that, NFC, Bluetooth, whatever, is just an added risk that you want to try and avoid.
So we've gone like 20 minutes now in the show without chilling MCC. So let's start talking about our conference. So we have almost all the speakers announced at this point. Tickets are selling actually quite well. We cannot complain. It can always be better. And we should like increase the price again soon, and I guess to increase the FOMO. But overall, we've been very happy with like how things are going, right?
Yeah. Hopefully, by the time you guys are watching this show, the conference hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. I think it's coming along. There's a lot of logistics and other crap with it. Getting the gift bags, just doing all the stuff that will make it fun.
Yes, and we'll have a nice big space and 2 separate floors with stages and everything. It will be really cool.
Yeah, so we expanded. Originally, it was all 1 floor, but we think we're going to get enough attendees, so we expanded to 2 floors now.
And I honestly think, like, having been to quite a number of conferences over the past few years, I really think that we have one of the best speaker lineups I've ever seen. It is absolutely top-notch, high-quality speakers that very rarely are gathered in the same room. So this is and the panels as well. Like the from the moderators through to the panelists, absolutely incredibly high-quality participants, and I'm very I'm very surprised that we managed to get some of the people that we've managed to get. So this is it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's really hard to get me, right?
Yeah, I mean that you're so busy with all your liquid T-shirts that like I'm just impressed that you managed to find time for this.
I know.
But he's gonna be late.
I know.
Samson's only gonna get there on the 13th and be like, "Sorry guys,
What?
I was busy. I was at the bank."
If it's not in the calendar, it doesn't exist. The calendar is a source of truth.
Kim, if you're watching this, make sure it's on his calendar.
Yeah, please. So the other big thing is we're going to have the world premiere of the first Magical Crypto short.
Oh, really?
It's only 6 months late.
You know, which was announced like a year ago, you know?
It's definitely more than a year ago when we first started working on this.
Yeah, but we've been saying that it's ready for 6 months. So I'm just saying.
It's so close. It's like this close to being ready.
Makes sense to premiere it at our conference, so.
So you'll actually get to see a real cartoon for Magical Crypto at the conference.
And Samson, then shortly thereafter, you're going to make sure that we have a podcast, right? On iTunes and everything.
Yeah, why not?
Spotify. And we also can now confirm that we have like an official party on Saturday evening, sponsored by PTSE. And it's like in a nightclub not that far away. So it's like walking distance or crawling distance, depending how much you plan to drink. So it should be fine.
And I'd like to point out it's a nightclub and not a strip club. This is not BTC Miami. Love you, Mo.
I think at the door, Fluffy Pony is going to be pouring a bottle of whiskey in your mouth. A whiskey shot poured into your mouth when you enter.
I thought it was going to be a whiskey fontaine, but okay.
Yeah. And Whale Panda's obviously the chauffeur to make sure you get home safely afterwards.
Yeah, for sure.
And Samson's the DJ and Charlie's the photographer.
Charlie's security.
I'm the bouncer.
Nice. You're gonna bring your sword. You're gonna bring that sword, right? Charlie's gonna bring the sword. He's gonna be like,
I'm gonna pack that in my suitcase.
Charlie's gonna come in his new Tesla.
Which one? I have 5.
Were we giving away that many?
I won another one tonight, so make that 6.
No, it makes sense. Like a different color for every day of the week.
Yeah, of course.
And I want one for the weekend.
I need 7.
No, and one for the weekend.
Your buddy Justin Sun, I'm sure, will hook you up.
Justin Sun is keynoting Consensus. Did you see?
Yes, I did.
I thought that was an April Fool's. I didn't realize it was real.
Really?
When I saw it, I was like, haha, good April Fool's, guys. That's really sad.
Well, he's a good example. Fake it till you make it. And he made it.
Blows my mind.
It's really incredible that he... I mean, I can understand that ticket sales aren't going that well for Consensus. And that they're getting desperate, but this is like, yeah.
I mean, are they just like skipping over the plagiarized white paper and just ignoring that and like praising what? It's so bizarre to me.
Maybe he's going to apologize for that at Consensus.
I'll tell you guys a funny story about Tron. So I was at the Token 2049 conference, and they had a huge like Tron booth there, right? And there was a lady running the booth. So I approached the booth and I asked her, I've never heard of Tron. Tell me more about it. And then she was like, you've never heard of Tron? It's the number 10 cryptocurrency on CoinMarketCap. I'm like, no, I've only heard of the top 5. And I asked her if she knew what the number 4 coin was. And she's like, I don't know what the number 4 coin is, but Tron is number 10.
Yeah, maybe the pressure from MCC forced CoinDesk to bring Justin in. Bring in the big guns.
Maybe we can get Justin in for a dunk tank.
Maybe.
Well, our goal for next year is that Consensus will hold their conference close to ours to try to get some of our attendees to go to their conference.
Yeah.
Because we obviously didn't do that this year.
Well, I honestly think that this year will be the last year we'll try even to do it in New York. New York is really not a fun place to do it, and some speakers even not want to come to New York just because of the
It's so expensive.
regulations. No, expensive.
And some sponsors were not interested in sponsoring anything in the States.
Yeah, exactly. So next year, Singapore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm for that.
Canada.
Hong Kong.
South Africa.
No.
South Africa is amazing.
So we can do one on every continent. So we can do South Africa,
Yeah, we should definitely do one there.
Singapore, Brussels. I don't know.
I've seen District 9. I don't want to go to South Africa.
Dude, District 9 is only like partially true.
Riccardo, if you can get Elon Musk to come to our conference, we'll do it in South Africa.
I'm just a Twitter fan. I'm not his personal friend.
You're South African. He's South African. I mean, come on. That's how it works. You know how many people like assume that I know every Belgian or at least every Belgian in crypto? I don't. But everyone assumes that. I know Tuur and I know Peter Wuyle, and that's it. And some others, but
Plus, you could just add him on Twitter. Like, call him a Boet or whatever that thing is. Hey, Boet, let's do a conference.
A butt.
But
A butt, yeah. I'll be like, how's it, butt? Like, butt, you want to come to like our conference, butt? You can come give the keynote on Tesla. It's very kiff, man. Tesla's like the kiffest manufacturer ever.
we'll have a braai.
We'll have a braai. We'll have like a after party, but it's actually a braai.
do it.
Okay, I'll ask him.
You know that the braai is actually a barbecue, just in case you didn't know. Okay, Veriblock. Veriblock is spamming the Bitcoin mempool. Like 30% of transactions are all from Veriblock, and it's live now. So it was mainnet before, it stopped for a while, and then the backlog cleared, and now it's live.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What is Veriblock?
It's a coin that uses Bitcoin's Bitcoin security actually. So it's proof of proof.
Proof of proof, right?
Yeah. So
it's putting the Veriblock block hashes into Bitcoin's op return, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically timestamping Veriblock's blockchain, right? And it's paying Bitcoin fees.
It's very inefficient timestamping, basically.
Sure.
So, but why didn't they just do like a Merkle route for every 150 blocks?
Why don't they just use open timestamps?
There's that too.
because it's Jeff Garzik behind it.
So literally every block is expressed as a Bitcoin transaction.
Something like that.
That's so dumb. I can't. Why are people so dumb?
Or is it?
Well, then if it's not, they can't write a huge white paper about proof of proof, right?
Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's just checkpointing.
Yes.
I can't even.
And it's like 30% of Bitcoin transactions at the moment.
This is why in a permissionless network you have to have fees. Otherwise, people will just do stupid crap all day long.
Yeah, like putting like high resolution pictures onto the Bitcoin SV blockchain.
Photo.
Oh man, that is another thing that is going to blow up in their face so badly. I mean, people are going to use it as like backing up their whole hard drive.
They're so proud of it too.
Why not? That's the original vision.
Yeah. All of internet will be on the Bitcoin SV blockchain.
I know.
And it's going to be run on one computer that Craig Wright runs.
Until it fails.
The Tulip supercomputer will be the whole blockchain.
But Veriblock is really something strange. Let's talk about that again. So you guys saw the video of the Veriblock initial exchange offering on. So they did like it's not an ICO, it's an IEO.
Which is when old MacDonald had the farm. EIEIO.
EIO, yes, indeed. So,
but it's an ICO just renamed, right?
Well, yeah, but it's like what Binance started doing. So it was the ICO on their platform, and now Bittrex did it for Veriblock because Bill from Bittrex is an advisor for Veriblock. So that makes sense. So they were selling $7 million USD worth of Veriblock, which was only like a small piece because it's like it has a huge pre-mine and stuff like that. And it was sold out in like 5 seconds. But there was a video of a guy somewhere in Asia. I don't want to be racist and assume racial Asian countries.
I think someone said it was Vietnam.
Vietnam, yeah, I think so too. So there was like 20, 30 people sitting in a row, refreshing Bittrex to try to get in and buy the IEO. So buy the Veriblock. It was really crazy.
Yes, I saw the video, and then someone got it, and they all jumped up and like
Yes,
high-fiving each other.
yeah.
Yeah. You know, I thought it was I thought they were playing some game, right? Some
It's Counter-Strike.
online game. Yeah, it turns out they were trying to mine or win this
buy.
or buy.
It's unfortunately a side effect of the nature of ICOs. ICOs are not inherently more fair than VCs. The person with the most amount of money can still pay the highest amount of gas or pay for a room full of people to hit refresh, and get in faster and for more money than the average man in the street. So it's just like it's the same model where if you have more capital, you have an unfair advantage.
Okay.
So is that good or bad?
No. So what frustrates me is like I think that ICOs or STOs or whatever serve a purpose, but I don't think that these tokenized offerings, these initial offerings, are more fair than going to a VC. And it frustrates me when people talk about ICOs, and this happened last year in particular, as if they were some sort of magic silver bullet for fairness. Like, oh, if there's just an ICO, then it will automatically be fair.
Yep. Well, there's the same thing. There's like a lot of backroom dealings too, like pre-selling and discounts and whatnot. You're just not aware of it as much. It's more hidden.
Yeah,
it's unregulated.
It's true.
I mean, the main difference is that anyone can participate in an ICO versus VC funding, where you have to be an accredited investor.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why people think it's more fair, because everyone can participate. But there's a reason why not everyone can participate for VC funding, because people are stupid and they get scammed.
But I mean, also it's like anyone can participate. But if you take a look at like BAT, their offering sold out in one Ethereum block, and the people who bought, who were included in that block, paid like crazy amounts of gas in fees. It's like if you were willing to pay $5,000 in gas, then you could take a chunk of that ICO. And so even though I agree with you, everyone can participate, then the minute there's like anything that isn't an entirely scammy ICO, then very few people can participate. Or you end up like with EOS, where anyone can participate, so there's billions that are sold.
Free market.
We should do an MCF token that is fair, that everyone can buy.
MCF token?
Yeah.
Magical crypto token, MCT.
You get a percentage of profit from the show.
Yeah, we can do that.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, which is 0.
And it gets released to people, to MCT holders for a week before we release it to the public. The episodes.
Well, that's how we exit scam, right? After like a year and a half of doing this, we gotta somehow find a way to exit scam.
And then Blockstream, Globy, and Litecoin Foundation get an early discount.
I mean, obviously,
Of course.
Goes without saying.
How is Charlie going to afford his 7th Tesla without doing that?
Yeah.
Well, actually, let's talk back to Veriblock. So, question for you guys is it spam if they paid the fees?
That was going to be my question, but yeah.
No, it's not spam, but it's just dumb.
It's still spam. I mean, if you take the analogy of email, right?
Mm-hmm.
like they paid for some service to send you an email, but it's still spam because it's unwanted.
Yeah, but it's not unwanted by the miners.
I think from that perspective, it's spam.
Email doesn't have a fee though, right?
Yeah. And it's not unwanted by the miners. The miners like the high fees. So it's maybe unwanted by you and I, but the miners are loving us.
Mm-hmm. And miners decide.
Of course, miners rule the network. Didn't you know that?
I know. Okay, so it's not spam.
Technically, it's not spam because it's not a zero fee.
Yeah.
So what's the solution? Like if this is hurting everyone, what's the way of actually fixing this problem?
Well, it doesn't really hurt everyone. Like it'll push up fees and then
Which hurts everyone, right?
it depends. Like if the real users are willing to pay, then it'll eventually price out Veriblock. They won't be able to keep doing this. Unless they do another ICO or IEO. But in the end, I don't think it's sustainable. Like if fees are high, like say, $10 a transaction in 5 years, then they can't do this crap.
Makes sense.
I mean, one way is to reduce the op return space, right? So make it so that like it's more costly to do non financial transactions.
Yeah, maybe. But I think we do need some fee pressure, so it doesn't really matter. In the end, the free market will decide.
For sure. Yeah.
All right, now we need to talk about my new hat, the Blockstream Spy hat.
Oh, cool.
I know. So this is like the next level of hat. You can see like it's rubber. This piece here is rubber. It's not embroidered. Most people are still doing embroidered hats, but I've moved up to rubber badges, I guess.
You know that rubber is actually killing babies, but okay.
Really?
Is the GPS tracker embedded in the rubber or is it embedded in the strap at the back?
It's embedded in the rubber.
Okay.
And I used another piece of material on the underside of the rim. You can see it's like a little mesh material to symbolize the network of spies.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also the antenna for the bug that broadcasts your audio.
Exactly.
Got it. Good design.
Samsung's getting good at shilling stuff, huh?
Yeah, great design.
I learned from the best. You're all laughing. Why?
Samson, I wanted to ask you if you have the green screen because you're a lizard person and it just makes you feel more natural.
No, I have the green screen because behind me is some scenery from Infinite Fleet, which is the game I'm working on.
Oh my God. No, come on.
Is that what we're gonna put behind you?
Guys, I'd also like to point out that my furniture store is selling all of these.
Oh, since we're shilling stuff, here's a liquid commemorative token that I'm working on.
There's a buy now button. Click the buy now button to buy the liquid token.
Yeah, it's silver plated, and we'll have a hologram on the back, and under the hologram will be a private key for this liquid commemorative token. Limited supply, 2,100.
Oh, that's a lot, eh? And normally when I buy limited edition things, I prefer there to be a lot less.
2,100 is a lot. Make it 21.
Yeah, but we're giving these away to like members of Liquid. So if you're like an exchange, then we'll probably like give you 10 or 20 or something. So we do need a bunch.
Aren't we technically members of Liquid?
What if you're a magical crypto friend?
Yeah.
If you're a magical crypto friend, you get one. And if you're a volunteer at MCC, you might get one too.
Is it 1 ounce of silver or what?
No, it's just plated silver.
It's a cheap version, Charlie. What did you expect from him?
It's Litecoin Cash.
It's like Feathercoin.
The lighter version of Litecoin.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move to questions from the fans. So first question, can Litecoin get a CoinJoin implementation like Wasabi Wallet? I mean, that should obviously be yes.
Sure.
Charlie, is someone working on that?
I don't know if anyone's working on it, but it's easily doable. I mean, it's not a protocol change, right? So it's CoinJoin. So
shouldn't you, as CEO of Litecoin, know who's shouldn't you tell some people to work on that? Or
no, people don't listen to me. Actually, Ricardo, can you work on that? Make it happen.
I appreciate you asking me, Charlie, but I'm going to have to say no.
Damn it.
You tried.
When is the last time you did something, Charlie? I mean, come on.
What's the last time I did something?
Yeah.
Did what?
When he forked Bitcoin to create Litecoin. Duh.
Yeah, about 7 years ago.
Okay, so yes, but probably no one is working on it. Maybe we should. And then I noticed something in when I asked for questions from friends. I noticed a lot of people reply with stuff for Liquid, Blockstream Satellite, or Green Address. Now in this case, I think it's just Samson's sock puppet accounts just replying, and then just so he can bring up those things.
No, it's all organic.
So a question here is, tell us more about Green Wallet, Samson.
So Green Wallet is a rebrand of Blockstream Green, which is it's known for 2 of 2 multisig. So you have a second factor to authenticate to authorize every transaction if you choose to, and that second key is held by the Green Address server. But you'll get an email or a phone call or SMS, or you have to use Google Authenticator or any authenticator app to hit OK before your transaction goes through. But it also does a lot of other cool stuff. You can speed up transactions using replace by fee. I know Charlie doesn't like that.
I'm okay.
And you can control the fees you pay too. It's much more granular than other wallets. You have velocity limits for spending as well. But it's like a really, really secure wallet that you can use to travel around and manage your Bitcoins on the go. You can plug in hardware wallets to it as well. But yeah, Green is basically a wallet. It was Green Address. It was founded by Lawrence Nahum, and Blockstream acquired Green Address, I think, 2016 or so. Yeah.
Next question. Fixed coin supply versus flexible supply. Which is better about Bitcoin and Monero on supply?
Which is better? That's like...
That's a very strange question. So Monero has inflation for like forever, a small inflation.
So yeah, Monero has a minimum block reward. When it hits that minimum block reward, it stays that way forever. What this basically means is when it gets to the minimum block reward, then we're talking about 0.8% inflation annually. But because the minimum block reward is fixed, that decreases over time. So it's 0.8% the first year, then the next year it's like 0.76% and whatever.
So what is better? I think
if you have 3 options, if you have inflationary, deflationary, and disinflationary, it depends on what you're designing for. I think inflationary is always bad, for the most part. I think disinflationary is a reasonable middle ground that gives you, if you're designing for digital currency and not digital gold, then disinflationary is not a bad model. It's the model that Monero uses, and I don't think it's terrible. If you're designing for digital gold, it has to be deflationary. There's no other option.
Well, it's debatable because we have to transition from block reward to fees to pay for security eventually. So having a little bit of inflation is kind of like a security blanket. There is this constant incentive to mine, and so it could be a good thing.
No, I agree. It makes things simpler from a game theory perspective. But I think, see, beta is such a weird way to describe something. Bitcoin is what it is. Bitcoin is deflationary. That's set in stone, and it's not going to change. So whether that is the best possible design choice, I don't know. Like Samson was saying now, maybe arguably not. But how many people are designing cryptocurrencies nowadays? Well, I mean, there are a bunch of them, but people shouldn't be designing cryptocurrencies. People shouldn't be designing emission schedules. They should be building on top of things that already exist.
Yeah, and I think that's only something you can answer in a couple of years.
More like in 50 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, in a couple. I mean, I'll still be around. Also, going back to last episode, I'm the youngest one, obviously. So it's me, Riccardo, Then surprisingly, Samson. Samson is not the oldest, even though he looks apparently the oldest. And then Charlie.
Charlie's a geezer.
I'm actually like 60. Just look young.
You know that Asians age well, so. But yeah, so for the block reward, I think it's impossible to say. But there's also the thing that more Bitcoin get lost every year. So in the end, over a couple of thousand years, they might have like 5 Bitcoin left, because the rest is all gone.
Yes. That's totally, I think it's going to happen.
Is that your plan? Just wait until people lose.
Okay, last question, because I need to go soon. Is it possible to get Jihan Wu at MCC 2019? Well, the problem is we don't pay travel, especially not intercontinental travel, and you know that Jihan Wu is completely wrecked, so he cannot afford to come anymore.
Well, we didn't ask him.
That's a short answer. Yeah, we didn't ask
Also,
him.
we didn't ask him. So,
Oh, we could ask him. I can give him a call.
well, we are looking for a keynote, so we'll announce Jihan Wu as keynote. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Hey, Will Panda, you didn't ask one of the questions. What's the next major hurdle on Monero's path to global domination?
Because I need to go in like 3 minutes, and I don't know how long Riccardo is going to answer that.
You're like you're blocking Riccardo from shilling.
Okay, well, I'll answer it quickly. I don't think that I think that Monero is not going to achieve global domination. I don't think that that's a stated goal. I think it might achieve global utility, but a global domination is definitely not something that I think is on the cards. I think that we have other battles to contend with, and honestly, it's being privacy enhancing is an uphill battle right now. It might be different in future. So I would say the next major hurdle from Monero's perspective is just winning people over to wanting privacy in their lives, and to realizing that they've so far, at least digitally, been living without it for so long that they've become used to not having privacy.
Okay. And on that great answer, we can end the show. So thank you guys for watching. The next show will actually be live at MCC 2019. You can watch all the presentations, all the talks, all the panels from the main stage live.
And the short
live. So it will be 11-12 of May in New York. So the agenda is already online, so you can see when you need to.
magicalcryptoconference.com.
Yeah. So you can see when you need to tune in.
And before you come to your live show, you need to rewatch all 18 episodes of Magical Crypto Friends, so you're all caught up, right?
So that you're familiar with all the jokes.
You won't miss anything.
We'll have some special big announcements too about Magical Crypto.
Oh yeah, Samson has big plans.
Oh yeah.
Did you write like Will Panda in every single piece of those paper?
I'm not saying I did, and I'm not saying I didn't.
That's a really cool hat. That's actually a way cooler hat than Samson's. Okay, so guys, thank you for watching, and see you in New York. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Buy hats.